3, 2, go.
Hello, rock stars. Welcome to In the Pit. I'm your host, Rick. And yes, we're on location this time with none other than Josh from Go Ask Alice.
Yes, baby.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you.
Man, we have not been together to hang out in forever. So, man.
It's been a minute.
What last time we were together, was that when I was in drag and you were like, oh, no, that shit ain't happening?
That wasn't the last time, but that was a good time. I remember that time.
You guys have probably seen video. I showed up and it was a Go Ask Alice, and I was like Alice in Wonderland. So I show up in wig and dress, and Josh just looks at me like, yeah, no, this ain't happening.
No, the wig was good though. The sundress, it wasn't your color, but the wig was.
Dude, purple looked good on me.
The wig was in.
I'm gonna have to go and drag more often.
No, I think you should every day, all the time.
Oh my god,
it's a change. It's a decision.
It's a decision. I mean, it's just fabric. I mean, what more? It's very. You know what? Our dear friend Thomas wears a kilt. Now, it's not as masculine as a
Mr.
kilt.
Moore. Yes, Mr. Moore.
Thomas, yeah. But in my own really demented, weird way, it would be okay.
Oh, I'm telling you, yes. It 100% would be okay.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, by the way, since it's first time back together in a while, cheers. Mm-hmm. By the way, he's forcing me to drink today.
Yes, arms were twisted.
Arms were twisted. There were some tears. There was a little bit of crying.
Ears were pulled. And
well, that was something else completely different. Oh, my Lord. So, you know what? I was really excited that we were going to get to do this interview because it's been a hot minute. And part of it is, and we're going to get into it, is we got a show that we got to promote coming up this weekend, correct?
Yes, at Fat Daddy's.
And it's at Fat Daddy's, and it's Go Ask Alice and Basket Case. And we have talked about playing together forever.
Yeah, for the many years that we've tried to organize it, it never could align and come together. But this Friday, we have got it to align, and I know the boys are as excited as I am to be able to get up with the Basket Case boys and just play some music and see some faces that we haven't seen in a minute.
Hey, I mean, this is a lineup we've dreamed about for a while. Some Alice in Chains and some Green Day, and they're kind of polar opposites, but they're not. I think this is going to be an incredible show. But I want to kind of talk about how exactly did this show finally come about? Do you remember?
I do, actually.
It gets a little fuzzy after about 1:00.
Yeah, I was that day. I called Rick up and said, "Hey, Rick, I think a couple of drinks are in order." So we got together, had a couple cocktails,
and Rick said yes. Why are we talking about me in third person?
Well, I don't know why you are.
Rick said yes and showed up at the bar.
This one said yes. I mean, how else am I going to frame it anyway?
Oh my God!
We got together. We had a couple cocktails, and Rick leaned over and said, "Hey, you want to do a show and open up for Basket Case?" I'm like, "Okay." Sure.
I was a couple tequilas in. You were drinking beer,
whiskey,
yeah, and actually we were at Hang Time in Rowlett, and he calls me up, and he's just up the street from me, and I wasn't doing anything, and it was literally middle of the week. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday, and you're like, "Dude, come have drinks with me." I'm like, "Okay." And 5 minutes later, you're in the parking lot. I come screeching up, and I'm like, "Drinks? Did someone say drinks?"
Yeah, we laid into the pops, had a couple sodas, and you proposed the show and said, "Look,
I proposed.
You've got Fat Daddies, and they would be amenable to such a proclivity." So. Yeah,
I couldn't think of it at the moment. Again, that was a few tequilas and whiskeys in. I was just like, "Oh, let's do it at Fat Daddy's."
Yeah, I think.
And I happen to have a show that was already on the books, but we didn't have an opener. And so, literally, we're sitting there drinking, and within the span of 30 minutes, we went from, "Let's do a show" to show's booked. Yeah. We're playing together, and I mean, then it was the celebratory. Let's have a drink.
Or 30.
Oh my God. And it's a good thing that we were close to home, because I do remember I tied one on that day. And by the time I got home, I was like, Amy said, "Are we going to go out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm done." I mean, which I ended up staying and drinking more. I stayed home and drank more tequila that night. I'm just saying it's not hard to do.
No, it isn't. But I like the fact that you proposed the show. I asked the guys, and within 5 minutes, they're like, "Yeah, let's do that." So, here we are this weekend coming up. Like I said, Friday, big show at Fat Daddy's. And it's been
It's been a couple years since you guys have played there.
Since we played Fat Daddy, it's been a couple years. So
Holy cow.
Excited to get back out to Mansfield way. And
I'm excited about the whole night and for multiple reasons, not just that we get to share the stage together. And I know that the shenanigans will ensue off stage just because I just know us. Fat Daddy's is obviously an incredible sponsor of Concert Connection, and I play there so often. And just being able to take you guys down there, which is a little bit farther than you guys. You guys are normally here in DFW.
Yeah,
and
true.
That's the other thing that before we get too deep into this, and I want to talk about is you guys took a little time off.
Yeah, a little over a year. We decided that it just
a mental break.
Yeah, we needed to take a break. Sometimes you just get things get, I don't know, dissatisfying. And so we said, you know what, we need to just step away for a minute, step away from it. And little over a year. Mm-hmm. And then we decided, I miss it too much. I miss the people. I miss the music and the venues and just being out doing that. So we cranked it back up, and the lineup's a little different than it was. Brian Small had a new addition to the family.
Oh, and have you seen the new baby?
Yeah,
beautiful. And it's funny. The first time it was at Drumathon, Brian and Jules were there, and they brought the baby. And of course, I go up to say hi to Jules, and the first thing, what do I do? And I'm a dad. My son's 22 now. And the first thing I do is I go up and I smell the baby's head.
Yeah.
I don't care how macho you are. Once you're a dad, you can't help but be like, baby smell. And
no, that's exactly what you do.
I don't mean dirty diaper baby smell. I mean like fresh baby, just they smell, they smell good. No, I don't like, I'm not like an ogre where I eat babies or anything, dinner served. But no, I mean,
no, it's the innocence and the freshness.
They just so cute. And I love the fact that they had the ear, I guess, are they muffs, the ear cans on? Yeah.
Ear protection.
Which, we don't think we all take it for granted because we're in the music scene.
Yeah. It's really smart, and it shows the
greatness, because that baby's going to grow up around music. In fact, they just this past weekend, they just had a show at Lava with a couple bands, and I wasn't able to go.
And the Taylor Swift experience.
Yes, Red and Iconic. And I meant to ask, like,
all very, very talented.
They're all great bands.
Anyway,
great bands.
I'm just going to say it.
And I meant to ask if they, did the baby go? Did the baby stay in the green room? But I mean,
right?
That child will grow up with an appreciation for music that unfortunately a lot of kids don't get. And that when I say that, I mean behind the scenes.
No,
you know what I mean?
I think that's absolutely true. And, just to digress just a little bit, Brian has had the new edition, and with shows for Just Like Pink ramping up, he bowed out and decided to focus on those things, which, makes perfect sense. And so someone jumped in to fill his spot.
Oh, I do. Mr. Carlos Silva.
Silva jumped in and is he's just amazing. He's fantastic. I like that.
So Carlos, the new addition, is, he's in Rebel Yell with me. He's in Rockaholics. I think he's in one of the Ozzy tributes. Yeah, he's in a ton of bands, and now he's in Go Ask Alice.
Yeah. Like it's really amazing to have him join us. He holds things down. His wealth of musical knowledge is it's so vast. And I mean, the guy is ultra talented, and we're glad to have him. And I think I think he's got a show the night after as well.
So he does. So here's the funny thing is, and Carlos and I are laughing about it, is Go Ask Alice and Basket Case are playing on Friday the 11th. The very next night, Poisonous is opening up for Rebel Yell. And so Carlos and I are there back-to-back nights. We're in different bands on Friday night, and then we're same band headlining on Saturday. And again, what a small music scene that you can intermingle with bands. I just picked up I'm working with a Duran Duran tribute right now.
Oh, yes,
and yes, everybody has probably heard already that, I played a show with Wild Boys. I'm going to do a few with them. And just because I wanted to learn Duran Duran, I have another project that I'm not going to go public with. That is because you and I are both in it. but we're not going to tell yet. And you guys are going to be like, what is it? What is it? Not going to tell you.
Not yet.
You've got a couple other projects that you got going on.
Since last we talked. Yeah,
Oh, here we go. Floodgates open.
Yeah, it's like I stepped back and then I got back in, and then all of a sudden I wanted to play in all the bands, but I joined in Texas the INXS tribute, and you were at.
I was at that. Oh my God, that was great.
First show.
That was at Toyota Music Factory.
Yeah,
your first show.
My first show with those guys. And
can I just say you look good in a wig and tight pants?
Yeah, you could say that. You can say it if you want.
No, your vocals were so spot on. It was incredible. And I know that the circumstances under which you picked that gig up were not what it's not like you went out and saying, I want this job. No. But unfortunately, there was a need. Robert, had to step away. Yes. And you jumped in.
Yeah, I guess I was actually doing a show with Sonic Temple, the Cult Tribute.
Oh, we're going to go into that one already? Can we finish one band at a time?
Well, that's how it came about, because I was doing a show with Sonic Temple, and Kerry, the bass player in Texas, was there, and he said, hey, you want to help us out on this? And I'm like, to play with those folks? Ooh. Yes, please.
Wicked nice folks, really talented folks.
Really talented. So yeah, I jumped at the chance for that, and it's a pleasure to be able to play with folks that really know what they're doing.
And you're an INXS fan.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah.
Come on.
I already know the answer to the question. I'm not asking something I don't know.
No, I am. I'm a big fan. I always was. Way back. When they did the big show over at Old Cowboy Stadium with Guns N' Roses and Ziggy Marley.
Oh wow!
And Iggy Pop. Yeah, I was at that.
See, I wasn't even in Texas at that time.
Oh yeah, I went and saw that show and just was like, wow, amazing.
What's your favorite song by INXS, by the way?
I think I hate to. I think it's By My Side. Really,
is it?
I really think it's By My Side. The power in that song. They're all so good, but I think By My Side might be my favorite.
The song that it will always be my favorite INXS is always One Thing.
Yeah, it's a really good.
That was the first one I ever heard, and from that moment I was hooked as an INXS fan. I've always loved INXS. The Really Beautiful one, which it was funny when I got over here to your place, you had it on TV and we were talking about it. That Don't Ask Me.
Oh, Never Tear Us Apart.
Never Tear Us Apart. Oh my God, that's one of those that'll make me cry, because there's some emotional, sentimental thoughts that go along. Points in life, greatness. Now you said a little bit about it, that's how you were playing with another band, and that's how you got kind of shanghaied and brought into the picture here. How did you end up doing the Sonic Temple, which is the Cult?
Yeah, well, which is one of my all-time favorite bands in the entire universe. I'm a Cult freak.
You think?
Yeah, bad. And Mr. Brian Huey needed a fill-in, so I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. I would 100% love to do that, and so.
Which Brian is also one of the guitar players for in Texas.
He is. He's one of the guitar players for In Texas, and when we do the Unplugged Alice in Chains show, Brian is also our second guitar player for that.
Nice. So there's a lot of family intermingling there.
Yes. Very much so.
I got to tell you, you have a black hat, which is so reminiscent. It looks so similar to the one that they actually had, that the Cult in the videos that we have all seen a million times, that black kind of cowboy-ish hat.
Oh, because it is the hat.
That's the actual hat.
Yes, that's the actual hat from the fire.
Are you allowed to tell the story, like how you came into possession, or is that one of those that we need to not divulge publicly?
I probably should.
Okay, then we're going to move on. We're going to leave it alone.
But that is the actual hat. So if you watch the Firewoman video and you see the skull, black skull,
that is the actual hat.
That's the actual hat.
So, and you do occasionally wear it out in public.
I will pull it out when I do. When I did the Sonic Temple show, I pulled it out.
That is crazy.
Put it on stage.
Did anybody go, God, that looks so familiar?
They did.
Did they really?
He said, that looks a lot like the hat from the video.
Not realizing that is the actual hat that is in the Firewoman video.
That is the hat.
Wow.
There was a early 90s. I'll be a little vague, but
you think?
I acquired it from those fellas because of stint being out of the eye, and there was a head shaving thing, and he said he's not going to wear it anymore. So
he gave it to you.
He gave it to me.
There's nothing dishonorable in that. That's awesome. But you're like, possessions 9/10 of the law. I'm not giving it back.
No, we'll never give it back.
Yeah, not happening. That's a piece of rock history. Which,
it is.
Wow. And it's funny because I'm sitting here looking at it and going, that is an awesome hat. You're gonna have to let me put it on just once. Just
go get it.
Not right now. You don't have to.
All right.
Because if you go get the hat, you're gonna come back with more wine, and the video goes. I mean, the interview goes to hell.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Like
goes right down the tube.
So you took a break. And you took a year off, and it's funny because you and I worked together while you were on break from the tribute scene.
Oh yeah,
and because we have an original band, and we're still it's sort of on back burner, but it's still functioning. We got an original band called the Forgery.
Yeah,
and it's funny because we kind of dove into it, and when you approached me about it. I got to tell me the whole story because I was actually like, of course I'm in. Of course I'm in.
Well, yeah. I mean, Wes Ford, our guitar player for Go Escalas, he and I have been writing some music, and I think it was a real simple thing. We said, "Hey, Rick, you want to play some drums on some of these songs? See if it works." And he just said, "Yes, of course I do. What are you ridiculous?"
Of course I want to play drum. Like you're going to do some original stuff, which anybody who thinks that a tribute artist is nothing more than a tribute artist, like we are all original artists. That's how we've all started out. So the fact that we can go back and play some originals or write some originals. Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, and you know as well as I do, doing the tribute thing, the blessing that we have to be able to do it is really cool. I think it's, I feel super blessed to be able to go out and play these songs and have people enjoy them. And we kind of reminisce and go back and pull some of those emotions. And I think that's what's cool about it. But what I was really wanting to portray is I wanted to put some of, my real feelings out there and see what people thought about that, not just somebody else's songs. I want to put my songs out there and, so far so good. People have a tendency to gravitate towards those things. So,
a bunch of people, and I've told a few people that were doing it and they bug me like, when are you guys going to play live? And I'm like, guys, there's no rush on this. There's not like, we got to hurry up and get on stage date. We're writing music and working on it. When we are ready, we'll put a show together. We'll get on stage. But until then, we're just having fun writing and, we'll get in the studio, we'll record and then we'll come out and we'll play a show. But until then, this is not a hurry up because we all have multiple projects. I've got my two, Basket Case and Rebel Yell, and then I'm playing around with the Wild Boys folks right now. And then you and I have another tribute which we're going to do, which is going to be very limited run. And I'm teasing the crap out of you people because you're like, Rick, what is it?
Very limited, very specific agenda.
Yeah. It's only going to be in a certain number of shows.
Oh man!
And we will just be an opener. And it's a great lineup because there are some hard hitting players in this.
Yeah,
band.
Forget about it. I mean, it's like a super group minus me. Everybody.
The minus me was one. Normally it's like you plus one, and it's like you minus me.
Everybody in that project is ridiculous. And I'm just like, oh, you're going to let little old me come in there? Yes, please.
Stop. I
love it. But no, I mean, that's going to happen. I think the scene has gotten odd a little bit in Dallas. We've gotten through the COVID, but there's just a lot of different scenarios happening, and I think everybody's trying to play catch up to get things to be a little more streamlined.
Oh, you want to dip into that today? Okay, we'll dip into that. So, you and I've had a lot of conversations about this. I've actually had this conversation with a number of folks in the scene. There are a lot of bands that just they play too much. There's no way of tiptoeing around or sugarcoating. They play too much. And it's, does Green Day come through town every week? No. Every month? No.
Right.
Every year? No.
Right.
I've been very vocal about it for me and my band. I keep the number of performances down. I know that Go Escalas, you guys are very similar. You play a very limited number of shows.
Yes. Very few shows.
And that is calculated, correct?
Absolutely.
And that way, when you do play, it's more of it's kind of a special occasion.
Yeah, I don't want to oversaturate, and people. You want it to be a special event where everybody comes out and really gets to kind of let their hair down and connect with that kind of stuff. And I don't think you can do it every single week. At least I don't feel like I can. So yeah, I think we try to limit it down and to get as many folks out as we can. So
I will say one of the nice things about now, for the longest time I was just in one, maybe two bands. Now I'm tacking a plethora of bands together. Which the nice thing is, if they don't all play very often, at least I can still get on stage regularly,
right,
but not with the same band.
Right.
And that way I get my fix. I'm not one of those. And me personally, unless I'm on tour where I'm playing every night, but in a different city, I don't want to get on stage every night. I don't want to get on stage every weekend. I like to go out and see live music. Of recent months, kind of me personally, I've limited the number of shows I go to.
Yeah.
And it's because you go out every single weekend. As much as I love to go out, first of all, it's taxing on the pocketbook and the liver, but it's you get burned out, and it's like, okay, I'm seeing the same band for the 50th time. I want it to feel special. You know what I mean?
I do. And nothing against them that play every week. Lucky that they get that opportunity to do that. And I think that's really awesome. That's great for them. That's just not something that I think I want to do. And that's just a personal thing. I want to have big shows with lots of folks that we can really get into what we're doing and have a good time and, forget about all this silliness for a bit, everything that's going on in the world. So.
I want the excitedness when I pull into the parking lot. I don't want to pull in the parking lot and that's kind of why I quit going out to so many shows is you pull in the parking lot and it's like, okay, the same thing. I'm not excited. Like I should be excited to go see a show. Right. It's live music, which I love live music. And it's like, okay, and that's what kind of, for me personally was the big, okay, I need to take a break. I need to not go out to shows every weekend because when I go up to see bands that I love to see and I'm not excited because I've seen them every weekend for the last however many, okay, there's a problem for me. And it's different. Some people never lose that. They're always just excited.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
That's what really drives the scene. I think that's what we're all fortunate to have, a thriving, or let's say getting back to a thriving music scene in this city. I mean, there's some things that you and I have talked about, some things in the works, not just new bands, but some
there's some shows that are coming up.
Shows that are new styles of shows, if I can say it, that are coming up, and they're going to be.
Oh, I'm not going to announce it yet, but I will tell you.
Big deal, yeah.
As I'm dipping into being a promoter and I'm putting shows together and everything's in the works. I'm not going to announce it yet, but when I do, everyone will be like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah, it's a natural.
There's things that I want to do outside of the music biz and outside of doing interviews and that kind of stuff. There's other things that I have in the works because to me, the entertainment industry is multifaceted.
Of course.
And there's other things that I want to learn about me, that I want to learn about music and people.
But no, I agree with you.
Other things that,
But you see a void. And so I think you're trying to fill it. For the fans and for everybody in town, and some new opportunities for some of these local artists and these bands that to switch things up. So yeah, I won't say anything about that. I'll let you.
I will actually be doing videos. You guys are going to, it's coming here in the really near future. You guys are going to see the announcement and you're going to be like, oh, okay. And I'm excited about it because it's another thing that I've always loved and you guys will get it.
It's
and I have to apologize. I have been on antibiotics for the last week and a half because the allergies this year have been horrible. And I got this chest infection and I'm at the tail end of it, but it's still, I've got that tickle in my throat that I can't get rid of. So I'm sorry if I'm hacking and everyone's here and you're like, oh my God, Rick, please stop. Okay. Yeah. I'm human. I'm not a robot. I'm not contagious like leprosy, but I mean, unless you want to kiss and find out.
Are we going to straight to biblical diseases and plagues? My fingers aren't falling off, but
oh my God, Amy and I just started watching The Walking Dead over from the very first season.
It's a whole different show.
Oh,
from
when
the
you can
beginning.
when you can binge watch that crap.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I'll stay up all night, even though I've watched it.
You've been up for 2 weeks watching zombies.
Amy gets up in the morning. She's like, Rick, did you get bit? You look like a zombie. I'm like, no, I've been watching all night.
You do know zombies aren't real.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just saying.
Damn. Man, I was late night buying guns, knives, survival. Like I'm buying,
Jeeps and shit.
Kevlar outfits.
Oh
I wasn't sure how the Kevlar underwear was going to work, but I'm like, I'm going for it. Oh my Lord.
Are you hearing this, people?
Yeah. They know I've got issues, Josh. I mean, you're not the only one that knows I have issues.
Oh no. Everybody knows. This is common knowledge.
So a year ago, just a little personal. We've been friends for a few years now, and a year ago, just over a year ago, we were in Vegas at the same time. Amy and I were there to see Billy Idol. You and Stace were there,
yes,
because you were just there doing you guys. Was she there for a conference?
Yeah, she was there for a legal conference,
and
I was tagging along on.
Oh yeah, you were really tagging. You were more
coattails.
running the show than tagging along. And so, of course, wait, you're in Vegas. So me and Amy are like, oh my God, we're getting together with Stace and Josh. And we get off the plane. I think we went and threw our bags in the room, and then we came and found you guys.
Yeah.
And that ensued a night of Vegas. And that's the only word. It ensued a night of Vegas. We did end up having a wonderful meal at Mona Mi Agave, which is at Paris.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful restaurant.
Right across from the Bellagio. And many bottles of wine.
Yes.
And fabulous food. And then we ended up, where did we end up? We ended back at Caesars.
We did a little gambling.
Yeah, we ended up doing a little gambling. We did before dinner. I think we ran into the rest of the folks in Rebel Yell, and we jumped on stage and played one song.
You guys did. We went to that outdoor pavilion bar
Carnival or Carousel or Carnival.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
I've never known what it's called. I just go there, and all the.
They called us up on stage, and so we went up and did a song.
All you Rebel Yell guys were there. We saw the rest of the crew, and you guys were all in town to do the Billy Idol experience. But yeah, you guys got up on stage and played, and it was pretty damn cool, I got to say.
All of this leads to two questions. Number one, when are we doing Vegas again?
I'll go right now. If you want to.
Leave the ladies and call Damon Pope and be like, Damon, we're going to Vegas.
Damon, wheels up in 30. Wheels up in 30.
Oh my God, you, me, and Damon in Vegas.
I've been to Vegas with Damon.
I'm saying the three of us, that's trouble.
It is terrifying.
I call the couch because I know that I have nobody snuggling me and I'm safe.
Damon
so you guys
runs
can fight
the
for the
show.
bed.
Damon runs the show in Vegas. I'm telling you.
We'd have to go see Chef Joey while we're in town.
Absolutely.
Bug him. And secondly, when you go back, I know you're a gambler.
Yes.
You gambled enough to buy a ring, and this man has his eye on jewelry when he shows up. He's like, I got to win enough to buy. Am I wrong? Am I lying?
You're not wrong.
He's like he's got this skull ring. Can you put that in the camera a little bit?
Yeah,
like he was like, I'm sitting at this table and gambling until he won enough to get that skull ring, which I was like, that's awesome. Do you need any more jewelry? Do we need to go back to Vegas?
Yes, I've got 10 toes I need to put rings on.
Damn.
Right? Yeah, I like to switch them out. I've always liked that ring.
Oh no, you were gushing and raving over this ring.
I was like,
before you got to Vegas,
I'm gonna win that sucker.
And
I
then
did say that.
You do absolutely. You're like, I'm gonna win enough, and it wasn't cheap. I'm not gonna tell you how much. It wasn't cheap. Homeboy throws down some coin. You made it happen. You made it happen. Then he had to drag me in there, and I'm like, I can't look because I'm not going to gamble and try to win. Yeah. Oh no, we're not going down that road.
Amy does a little gambling.
Oh no, Amy's a craps player.
She throws down on the craps, and it makes me nervous because she'll put a good chunk of change down there and just start throwing them bones, and it makes me nervous. I'm like, are you going to pull that money up?
Oh.
She's like, just don't worry about it. You two sit over there quietly and let mama work.
Okay, so the funny thing is, and I know we've really digressed off music. We were sitting there, and it was still somewhat COVID, and if you were at the table gambling, you didn't have to have a mask on. But if you weren't at the table, you had to have a mask on. So we're standing like two heckling gargoyles in the background drinking. We were. I mean, we were drunk and we were being us.
I think I might have had like one of those yards of pina coladas that the tourists get.
I drank nothing but tequila, just for the record.
Just because.
Which imagine that. And he and I are in the back. We get yelled at for not having a mask on. There's a club not even 25 yards away that had a line probably 300-400 people deep.
Yeah.
Not one of these kids had a mask on. And I'm like, you're yelling at us for a effing mask and these kids don't have a mask? Are you kidding me? So, of course, like two little 3-year-olds, we stomp off in a temper tantrum. Like, we'll just go find a table to gamble at then.
Yeah, we did throw a bit of a tantrum. I think I walked off saying things under my breath.
I honestly expected to end up in the basement in a boiler room, tied to a chair, getting the crap beat out of me.
Ball peen hammer to the fingers.
Kind of did.
Yeah.
I wasn't even gambling.
Yeah. No, yeah, you were just standing there just like, I'm not going to take this kind of abuse from you people. They're like, yeah, you're going to take it.
Where's the tequila bar?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, when you go to Vegas, this turned into a Vegas show. At what club was that at that Billy Idol played? The oh my God, they've got a bar called the Ghost Bar, and it's got a donkey on the door, and it is a hidden tequila bar inside the casino. Oh my! And I was all about it. I heard about it, and I can't even think of the name of the casino now. And I'm total brain fart. We found it, and I went in there. I'm like, I just gonna have one tequila because it's a secret bar.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you were very excited to find that place.
Speaking of tequilas, what do you think? Friday night, gonna have some drinks with me?
Of course.
Maybe a tequila?
Yeah. Well, last time I had a tequila with you, I thought I could fly, and that didn't work so well.
I believe I can fly. Oh, different fly.
Yeah.
Well, since we're digressing back into it, we might as well finish out the show. Let's talk about Friday night again, man.
Yeah,
Friday night.
Yeah, I'm real excited for folks to come back out. Like I said, we haven't played for quite a while. We did play one show back, and that was a real good
Where was
crowd.
that? Was that Lava?
No, we did O'Shea's. We played out there.
O'Shea's, that's right. I did announce it. That's right.
We played
on the Concert Connection.
Yeah, that was I like O'Shea's.
I've never played there.
Wes loves it there because he can smoke in the bar.
Oh, that's why I've never played there.
Inside smoking place.
Because my drums will smell like smoke for the next year.
For a whole year.
I'll have to get naked in the garage and burn my clothes. My wife will not let me in the house. You're kidding me. The neighbor's like, why is Rick naked in the garage? Oh, he must have played at a smoking bar.
He played at a smoking bar, but even Wes was like,
damn.
Wow, I smell like smoke a lot. But he likes it there. We like it. I mean, listen, it's a cool venue.
So this is your second show back?
This will be second show back.
And it's at the Mighty Fat Daddies.
Mighty Fat Daddies, man.
Nice.
It's been, like I said, it's been about 2 years since we've got a good opportunity to play there. So
a big shout out to Mike Rowinski. Thank you so much for letting us put this thing together. And
yeah, I'm excited to be back.
Again, we have daydreamed about this and talked smack for a few years. Like, we got to get our bands together, and it's finally happening.
This is a high energy show. I'm talking, this is going to be with all the boys from Basket Case. They bring it every time. I mean, they come out and
I was going to tone it down because Go Ask Alice is on the bill. Like, not so punk rock. I was going to make it a little.
Don't tone nothing down. We're going to get.
So he's saying, bring it.
Yeah, bring it for real.
I just want to say for the record, since you're opening for us, we would like to return the favor at a future date.
Absolutely, anytime. We'll work that out. You better believe it. That's why we're saying, Mike Eckdorf, make it happen. House of Blues.
Ooh.
We need to get tribute shows back at House of Blues. I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, you know what? And again,
I know.
And don't be opening up the can of worms yet.
I know he's trying. I know he wants to get.
No, don't be talking about things because
main room shows, man.
Main room.
I want to get main room tributes back at House of Blues.
I was going to talk about the big fiasco at that other bar, the Wasp.
That happened the other night.
I'm not going to talk about it. I was going to go into it because I have a very pointed opinion, but we'll talk about that privately. And at some point we'll do a show on that.
Yeah,
but not today. So we're doing Fat Daddies. Go Ask Alice. Basket Case this Friday, November 11th, and this is going to be a show. And you guys are doing an hour. You bringing anything special? Other than yourselves?
Other than Carlos? Other than Carlos?
I can't wait to see him do it. By the way, you guys are so natural. He's like, yeah, we don't even have to practice.
Oh, no. You tell him we want to play these songs, and he shows up and just knows them and knows how to do everything. It's a little off-putting how good he is.
I thought it was funny because before you asked him to join the band, you had called me, and I'm like, dude, yeah, he's one of my top 2-3 bass players. Like, I love him as my bass player. I would take him hands down every single time.
Jeff, and he just
See, I don't like him playing with Jeff. That you know, I'm a little territorial. I'm a little territorial.
That special guitar will be there.
Oh, the one with the naked girl?
The Jerry Cantrell special. That's the Jerry Cantrell special.
Do I have to tip the guitar?
Exactly.
I'll be throwing ones at it.
Stop petting the guitar.
Wait, do the clothes come off anymore? Like if I keep throwing money at it?
How could they be any more off?
I'm just saying.
You need to come out and pet the guitar Friday.
I want my picture with the guitar.
Yeah, of course.
Can I do nasty things to it?
Why are people touching this guitar? It's just making me feel weird.
You were worried about me saying ball gag? Yeah, there's going to be worse things that are going to happen with that guitar.
Better believe it.
So this Friday, November 11th, Fat Daddies in Mansfield. Go Ask Alice basket case. I believe doors are at 8. Downbeat is 9.
Okay,
you guys are playing at 10. I think we hit the stage at 10:30, and we're gonna rock your face till about midnight, maybe a little bit longer.
Ooh,
you know, we just got done playing City of Nacogdoches, where we had a couple hours of
big
music.
Show. That was a big show.
That was a big show. Did you see the tour bus we had?
Dude, forget about it, man. They did you guys up right. I was like, holy crap.
What's the number one rule about a tour bus, by the way, for those that don't know?
Never.
Ever. Number deuce.
On
the bus.
Tour bus.
Ever. You never deuce on a tour bus.
You don't.
That's the number one.
You bag it.
You never number 2. Number one rule, you never number 2.
Yeah. It's true. You don't.
This thing was a $750,000 tour bus, by the way. It was incredible.
Yeah, I saw pictures. It was ridiculous.
I think we should ask Mike to have one of those at Fat Daddy's on Friday.
We'll have Jeff bring his.
Oh, don't even go there. Can we get midgets and donkeys?
Yeah, of course. Everything for the right price, brother.
No, this is going to be a show.
It really is. So, I mean, we do hope to see all of you guys out there.
Come out.
You know, we haven't seen you in a long time. So I think this is a good opportunity with a really great venue to be able to reconnect with a lot of you folks. So, yeah.
This will be a fun one. This is going to be a great show.
Let's get together. We'll have a couple cocktails and see how the debauchery shakes out.
Let's see what happens. Thank y'all for tuning in. Josh, thank you for hanging out with me. And I love it when we get to do it in person.
Me too.
I didn't show up in drag this time.
But next time, there's always next time. Yeah, baby.
Thank you guys for hanging out. I know you guys are like, these guys are idiots. Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Not even a question.
Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time tuning in, go to Facebook, like us, invite your friends to like us, share the page. You can also catch us. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We have an Instagram and a Twitter channel or account. We also have a Roku channel and an Amazon Fire channel. You know, in the last few weeks, we've kind of been a little slow with some interviews. There have been a lot of personal things that have gone on in my life, and Mr. Rose, the producer of the show, we apologize, but we don't make apologies. That we need to take time to be human beings and let life kind of run its course. But we're ready to get back in the Seattle scene, back in the saddle, and really just run for it. We got a lot of big things coming up for you guys, so we're excited. So again, thank you for tuning in. You can always go to inthepitwithric.com, download the app. It's a great way to watch the shows. And you can also tune in every week to Concert Connection. We would love to have you watch. Let me just tell you about and I don't announce all the shows. I announce, usually 10 a day, because there are so many shows that go on in DFW. I know there's a lot of people putting out lists of shows, and
right.
I do too. But I just announce the ones that I think are kind of on the shows that catch my eye, or people personally ask me to announce.
I've always been a fan of the Concert Connection. I like the way that you get it across. I like that you have a little bit of info about some of these bands too, so it makes it a little more personal, and it's good for the local, the local artists
it's phenomenal
to get the shout outs on there. So no, you guys need to tune into Concert Connection.
Thank
Just
you so much.
Yourself a favor, because you're going to know what's going on and what is the ultimate things that are going on. So
I go to a lot of shows, and so I always give you guys what I think is, what I would want to go see. Some of them are ones that I've never seen that I want to go see.
Right.
Some of them are personal favorites, like everyone knows, and I'm throwing them a plug. La Cure is one of my favorites. I'm a Cure fan. I'm a goth kid.
Oh, come on.
So
dude.
it's
Prima Donna. That's
Prima Donna is another one.
You turned me on to them from seeing Concert Connection. You shouted out for them, and I saw them, and I mean, it's like, come on.
And it's not uncommon to see me show up at like a Kill 'Em All show or like a Metal Shop show. Like,
are you kidding me? They're fantastic.
There's so many bands that I am friends with and that I'm a fan of. But this week, and the one that I'm going to tell you want to be Friday night, Go Ask Alice basket case.
That is the one. I think that's the one.
I'm just saying that's the one on Friday night.
That's the special one. Yes.
Anyhow, thank you for tuning in. I am Rick. This is Josh, and we will see you somewhere in the pit.
Always in the pit.
Did you finish your wine? Because I still got wine
Of
left.
course I finished it. Like 30 minutes ago.
See, you should have brought the whole bottle with us.
I told you that.
I know, but if we left, we never would have come back. In fact, you know what? Let's get out of here.
All right, let's go.
Peace.